Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are joining this webinar. So it's 10 p.m. local time. I'm based in Islamabad, Pakistan. So I see a couple of people. I see Amy and I see Malek. So I think we can start because other people can join. So just to let you know that the microphones and the cameras have been disabled. So I can enable those if there is any question. So the flow of this webinar would be that I'm going to talk about for like 20, 25 minutes, and then the session would be open for question and answer. So I would like maximum people to ask questions, and I'll you just raise your hand and I'll enable your microphone and your camera, and then you can ask the questions. So let me just share my screen. You can put the questions in the chat as well. So I'll be looking at the chat, but I'll be answering the questions towards the end, obviously. So let me just share my screen and we can start then. All right. Just can somebody put in the chat if the screen is visible or not? Yeah, just so if somebody can just put this in the chat that my screen is visible. Yeah. Can everybody see my screen? Am I audible? Yes, so that we can start. Yes, guys. Yeah, okay. That's great. So you can see my screen and I'm audible as well. So I think let's formally start. So the agenda, like I just said, is that I'll be talking for about 20-25 minutes and I'll be taking questions towards the end of the webinar. So we are going to talk about why Power BI is important in 2024. If you are coming in from a background that is around the data analytics ecosystem, then why you should be learning Power BI. And if you decide to learn Power BI, then what are the three pillars to showcase your Power BI credentials? So we'll briefly talk about that, and then the crux of this webinar is about the PL 300 exam preparation, and I'm going to show you a demo of the learning portal, which is being offered as part of my recorded course. So I'll show you what the content is there and what kind of stuff is available there and how you can use that to prepare for the exam. And then obviously towards the end, I'm going to take the questions and try to give answers to the best of my ability and knowledge. All right. So my name is Abu Bakr Alvi. So I am a Power BI development consultant and trainer. So I've been in the industry for more than 25 years. I'm also a project management professional and an agile practitioner. If you're familiar with the Power BI world, then there is a very famous platform, Enterprise DNA. I'm also an expert on that for the last almost 2 years, and I have I have done 4 certifications from Microsoft, two for in the Power BI ecosystem, which are the PL 300 and the DP 500, and also the DP 203, which is the Azure Data Engineer, and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer since 2020. So I'm present on LinkedIn. You can see the LinkedIn the URL to my LinkedIn. I also have up the data portfolio that you can see here on Novi Pro, and also I have a YouTube channel where I frequently post about data as well. So most of the content is in the local language, but the videos which are in local language, even we have the subtitles in English. So anybody who wants to just have a look, they can just go. So So the first thing that I want to talk about is that as we are ending, as we are reaching towards the end of 2023 and we are entering 2024, there is a lot of talk about data analytics, and obviously AI has been the hot topic for 2023. And obviously there's going to be a lot of talk in 2024 about AI as well. So where does Power BI fit in, and how the people in the industry and the people who are like considered as experts and people look towards those, they see Power BI in this whole ecosystem. So I did a post I think a couple of days back where someone just shared the report from Coursera. So everybody is familiar with Coursera, and the Coursera, they actually do this report towards the end of every year. So which is actually looking at the next year. So they called it the skills report, and they have specifically look at the job skills. And this is from the Coursera report. So I've just taken a screenshot of that report. So this report is publicly available on the URL that you see here on the screen. So here you can see that they have listed the fastest growing skills, and this is overall. So this will like what they experience on their platform. Like there are hundreds of courses from different developed by different experts and across all the latest skills and all the latest technology. So what they have listed here are the top 10 fastest growing skills, and you can see that the Power BI is sitting there at serial number 6. And then if you further go into the report, then they have further categorized these into different areas. So there is another area which says that what are the top 10 business skill trends for 2024, and you can see that Power BI is there in the top 10 in this list as well. And then there is another area where they have listed the data science skill trends for 2024, and you can see that Power BI is sitting on top. So probably there is, if you have a look at this report, there isn't any specific tool that occupies that occupies position in the top 10 across different areas. So Power BI is there in data science, in overall scales, as well as in the business. So you can just understand, and obviously we can talk about it for for a very long time, but the point is to just um, highlight that how Power BI is going to be very important. It is important today, and definitely it's going to be very important in 2024 as well. So if you are planning to enter the data analytics, or you are already a part of the data analytics ecosystem, so if you are learning Power BI, you are doing the right thing. So if you decide to learn Power BI, and you want to actually make a career, or you want to make Power BI as one of the skills in your portfolio, then there are a lot of people ask this question, that how the learning should take place, and how one should showcase the Power BI credentials. So I've always, especially the people who are fresh, or who want to switch from a different area and into data analytics. So I always say that if you are learning Power BI, then you have to focus effectively on three things. The first thing is that you need to have a Power BI project portfolio, or you can call that as a data portfolio. So whatever you are learning, you need to make a portfolio. You need to showcase your skills. Then the second important pillar is the Microsoft PL 300 certification. I'm going to talk about why it is important. And once you have done the certification, and you also have a portfolio, then it is the third pillar, which obviously covers the first two, is that you need to have a very good presence on LinkedIn, and then you should have a CV or a resume that is tailored for what are your achievements in the data analytics in the data analytics ecosystem. So obviously your portfolio and your certification should obviously be a part of your LinkedIn, and obviously your CV and resume. So let's talk about each of these very quickly. So why the portfolio is important? Because once you are learning, the Power BI is not something that can be learned by just looking at the slide. So it's a completely hands-on tool. So what you actually learn in Power BI is that you learn all these skills, and then you actually need to apply all of those. So if you have a very good data portfolio, then it showcases that what are your data analysis skills, how good visualizations you can make, how you are good at solving problems, and that obviously is reflect is a important part of your business acumen, your communication skills, how you communicate through your visuals, and obviously all of that is encapsulated in the data storytelling, which is a very important part of learning Power BI. And then people like to create, innovate things. They want to be creative. They want to showcase what talents they have. So all of that is kind of covered if you have a very good data portfolio. So a lot of people, they say that, okay, we do not we obviously cannot put everything that we do in our day-to-day work in the portfolio. Obviously you cannot, because that is something which is confidential or private, or and obviously you can't make the data of your companies public. But the point is that you have to either create some kind of a dummy data set using the same work. If you are working in healthcare, you're working in retail, or you're working in any field. So either you can actually create dummy data and then use the same kind of reports and dashboards to showcase it as part of your Power BI data portfolio. But a better way is that there are a lot of freely available data sets across the whole spectrum. So you can pick data from retail sector, from hospitality, from sport, from healthcare. You think of anything, finance, HR, you think of anything, and that particular data is there. And now you can easily create or generate data using artificial intelligence as well. So and then another thing that I want to mention here is that there are these very good data challenges that are going that are happening every month. So there are like 3 4 very very good data challenges that are taking place every month. So there are a lot of ways. The point is that there are a lot of ways to actually pick data which is freely available or which is available in the public domain, and then use that data to actually create a good data portfolio. So this is, I would say that it is more important than doing the certification. Like if you ask me, I would say that having a good data portfolio is probably more important than having a good certification. And then obviously the second part would be that you at least should have the basic level certification in Power BI. And why is that important? Because it validates your technical skills. It is globally recognized. Everybody who sees this badge, they immediately know that you have a basic level or or an intermediate level of understanding of the tool. Then for especially for people who are entering the field, and then as a differentiation from as a differentiator from other candidates, a Power BI certification is obviously very helpful. It improves your credibility. It increases your versatility in the field, and shows that you are a continuous learner. And the employer who's going to ultimately hire you, he or she, or the department, whosoever is running the training department, they do not have to worry about first training you on this specific technology, or they investing in you in doing the certification. Because a lot of organizations, they actually give some kind of a deadline, like you have a 6 months to clear this certification, because they have their own internal KPIs that they have to meet. So a lot of people, they come to me that we have been given this deadline to clear this certification in 3 months. So what is the best way, or the quick way to actually do that? So it helps you if you have already done that. So these are the two things that are probably the most important. And obviously once you have done all of this, then showcasing it on your resume, LinkedIn, or your CV, it's very important, because it shows that you have the technical expertise, you have an analytical mindset. The link to the project portfolio should be there, and obviously the link to the certification should be there. So these are the three things that are very important for anybody who is learning Power BI. So now let's focus on the core part of this webinar, which is the PL 300 exam preparation. So as you all know that this is a Microsoft exam, so the best reference is the Microsoft website itself. So Microsoft has a website which is the learn.microsoft.com. So if you go on that website and search for any certification, so you are going to find, if you just put in PL 300. So this is how the PL 300 has been structured. So there are 4 areas in which you are tested. So these are in fact the 4 core areas in Power BI development. The first one is preparing the data, which we normally call as the ETL, which of extraction, transformation, and loading. So this part is has a weightage of 25 to 30%. Then the next part is modeling the data. So the DAX programming is already covered as part of this modeling the data. And the third part is visualize and analyze the data, which is more to more towards the end that you do. So this is probably the last bit, that once you have done the ETL and you have made the model and you have done the DAX programming, then you visualize and analyze your data in Power BI and do all the storytelling. So these are the first three sections, and all of these have a weightage of 25 to 30% on the exam. And then the last part, which is mainly related to the Power BI service, which is when you actually do everything in Power BI desktop and publish that. So that part is the fourth part, which is the deploy and maintain assets. So assets are all the artifacts, or all the things that are there in the Power BI service. So a basic level understanding of how Power BI service works, the workspaces, and the different roles. So this is the official Microsoft syllabus. And then they have kind of these four areas. So I call these four areas as the four learning paths. So within each learning path, you have these different sections, two or three sections, or it could be four sections in some cases. So get data from data sources is the first section. Clean the data, transform, and load the data. So these are the three sections within the first learning path, which is prepare the data. And within each section, then you have specific topics: identify and connect to a data source, and all these bullet points, they actually represent the topic. So once they say that this particular learning path has a weightage of 25 to 30%, it means that the questions that are going to come from this section, and obviously they would be around these topics, they would have a weightage of 25 to 30%. And there would be hardly any question, or certainly very less questions that just test you on one thing. So normally a question tests you on a combination of these topics. So it could be two topics, maybe three topics. So it's not like they're just going to just target one thing. It could be, but the questions that actually test your knowledge on one specific topic are very less. So these are the topics for the first learning path. And then similarly, we have these three sections and then the subsequent topics for the second learning path. So here, like I said, that DAX is covered as part of modeling the data. Then there's something on model optimization and performance as well. Then the third learning path has a lot of topics, but these are very small topics, or very specific things related to the Power BI desktop environment or the Power BI service environment. So this is the third learning path, which is visualize and analyzing the data. So you'll find there are a lot of topics here. And then obviously the last one, because it has a less weightage, so then the number of topics are obviously less. So I think these are more than 70 topics. I think 72 or 73. I don't exactly remember. So all of these topics have to be covered for the exam, because the questions could come from any of these topics. And all the questions, as you know, are multiple choice questions. You actually do not have to do anything in Power BI. It just tests your knowledge on different scenarios that are given. And if you have done hands-on work, then you are able to answer all these questions. But you do not have access to Power BI. There is, the link of Microsoft Learn available to you during the exam. So you can say that's kind of an open book exam. So you don't have to actually memorize anything, but the whole exam is based on mostly scenario based questions. So there would be a scenario around data visualization, there could be a scenario around modeling, there could be a scenario around ETL, and then there is an extensive case study that kind of covers end to end development. So it's a very kind of a comprehensive exam. So unless you have done practical work in Power BI, you understand most of the things. You actually struggle if you haven't really done hands-on. You actually struggle to clear the exam. So this was all about the exam. So I actually started specifically guiding people on PL 300 in 2023. So before that, I was just teaching people, just the general knowledge about Power BI, how Power BI actually works, how you can do end-to-end development. But in 2023, towards the start of 2023, I started specifically this exam preparation kind of a course. And the first cohort that I ran was a live course. All the classes were live. Like I was this was like multiple sessions spread over like 4 to 5 weeks, and all of that was live. Obviously, the sessions were recorded, so somebody if missed any of the session, then the material was available. And in parallel, I actually prepared a document which is kind of a cheat sheet, and I started to post chunks of it over LinkedIn, and a lot of people, they actually found that very useful. And a lot of people, they tagged me because I wasn't really teaching. So random people who just downloaded this document, they actually were kind enough to actually thank me and tag me that this document was very useful. So then I realized that, okay, a lot of people in the Power BI community and in the data analytics community, they actually need this kind of a coaching, because people have full-time jobs, and they do not find the time to actually go and search for the relevant material. Although Microsoft Learn has a very good kind of breakdown on their own website, and there is a good material available on Microsoft Learn. But the type of questions that actually come on the exam, they require you to actually think beyond the material which is available on Microsoft Learn website. So then I started the formal PL 300 exam preparation course cohorts. And after the first one, which was live, I kind of switched into a blended or a hybrid mode of delivery, where some of the content was available in the form of videos, and then there were live sessions. So it was like a 60-40 or 65-35 kind of a split. So we had a few live sessions, and then some of the stuff was recorded, and people had to go and actually watch the videos. Some of the people, especially in this part of the world, a lot of people, they actually can't really pay a lot of money. So there was I got these inquiries in my LinkedIn DM, that we want a course that is completely recorded, so we can just watch it at our own pace. So what I did was that I in parallel, I actually completed all the recordings myself, and then I put a fully recorded version of the course, which was launched, I think, 2 weeks back, and a few people have already registered for that. So now I'm just going to show you what that actual course is. So it's 100% recorded. So you actually go and watch all the videos. And what I have actually offered in addition to that is that once you have actually done everything, so you have start from the first topic, and you go all the way to the last topic. And once you have done and completed all the videos, then you get the chance to have an exclusive one-on-one session, 30 minutes one-on-one session. But 30 minutes is just a guideline, so we can take more than 30 minutes. Just discussing how your preparation is, what are the weak points, if anything you need to you need to ask specifically on a topic, any questions. So you get the chance to have a one-on-one session. So right now there is a early bird price for this, which is $24. So this price is valid till 7th of January, and then it is going to be the price is going to go up. It's going to be $49 if you plan to take it after 7th of January. So this was all about the PL 300. So now I would just um, take a couple of minutes, and I'm just going to show you how the learning platform actually looks like. So you actually have a feel of how this whole thing actually works, and how this whole thing actually looks like. So now I'm going to switch over to my browser screen, and I'm going to show you how the course has been broken down, how the course has follows. So the point of showing you this breakdown from the Microsoft website was important, because this kind of sets the tone for um, the the thing that I'm going to show you right now. So I think my screen has been shared. So just in the chat, let me know if you see if you are able to see my screen. Yeah, so it says that you can see my screen. So I have exactly broken this down into. So this is the screen that somebody who enrolls on the course actually sees. So there are a few people who have already kind of, they already have enrolled on this course. So they would obviously be familiar with this interface. So this is obviously the introduction. So where I actually explain that, okay, how the course has been, the modules have been broken as per the learning paths, as per the breakdown of on the Microsoft Learn website. And then how where the supporting material is, how you can create an account. If you do not have an account, I can create an account for you also on Power BI service. So stuff like that. So then these are the four learning paths. So if you see here, the course has been broken down into exactly the topics that are there. So the first topic within the first learning path is identify and connect to a data source. So all the data sources which are important, like CSV and Excel, so you get a video where you can actually go and watch whatever is there related to this particular part. Then um, as part of the same topic, you could connect to JSON, you connect to the SharePoint file, SharePoint folder, SQL server. So these are obviously you have like more than 100 connectors. So there could not be 100 videos just to cover all those connectors. But the major ones, like the ones which are actually used, like 6 7 types of connectors, you can just go and watch any of these videos, just go and play these. So I'm not going to play these because obviously the videos are there. So I just want to show you a breakdown. So some topics have more than one videos. Like there is a topic which is create and transform columns. So in creating and transform columns, there are a lot of transformations that are required. So I've broken it down into like 5 6 parts. So it's quite a lot of content that you can, if you are, especially if you are coming from a very limited knowledge of Power BI, you can, watch all of this in detail. And then there are certain modules which are kind of like reference material or optional. So if somebody else has done a YouTube video which I feel is very good, you should go and watch. So I'll put a link to that. Or if there is a certain blog that is very helpful, so that is there in the optional material. Then there is so something which you should go and actually see, as which is labeled as a reference material, because although the topic has been explained, but maybe there is a chunk which is important, or which can be used as part of the cheat sheet or something like that. So that part is actually put as part of the reference. So for so in short, for every topic on the exam covered within each learning path, there is a video. And after like you have covered 7 8 or 10 topics, then we have a few videos that cover the practice questions relevant to those. So you would get a few practice questions that I have created myself, maybe using help from AI. Some of the stuff which is commonly available. So these questions you can go and find these questions by just googling, just tell me what are the kind of questions which appear on the PL 300. But the point is that it's not it's one thing to see those questions. There's another thing to actually go and attempt those questions. So for every, like I would say, 10 or 15 topics, there is a session where we solve like 20 exam pattern questions, and those questions are solved, and there is a dedicated video for these questions. And then there are as part of kind of an own practice, there are questions that are shared in the form of a PDF. So you can just go and practice your questions on your own. So for every, I would say, like 12 to 15 topics, you actually get to solve like 30 to 40 questions, which is like a fair amount of questions to actually cover everything that has been explained. So that way, this is how the first learning path actually looks like. So, and the same structure is being followed for the rest of the learning path. So let's say model the data, again all the topics, the same sequence. So some some in some areas I have actually deliberately changed the sequence, because I've tried to actually follow a pattern. That the pattern is that end-to-end data analytics in Power BI actually follows a certain pattern. So if you immediately start with, let's say, data modeling, that it won't make sense. So it has to start from connecting the data source and then the steps. So uh, I have tried to actually just shuffle the sequence which is there on the Microsoft website, and that I have done based on my own experience of working. But all the topics that are there have been covered. So, like, there is a very important function if you are learning DAX, which is calculate. So all the different scenarios where calculate can be used, like calculate is used primarily to change the or manipulate the filter context. But there are modifiers, there are some functions which are used along with calculate. So all of that has been covered in quite a lot of detail. So this is how the second learning path, and here you can see that, again, after a few topics like 12, 15, or depending upon if we have like covered some major topic, like calculate is a major topic on the exam. So you are going to find the practice questions, and then there are practice questions that you go back and solve your own, so that you find confidence. Similarly, there are a lot of table functions. So you can see that the create calculated tables is just one topic, but there are like 6, 7 videos just to cover this. So this, like, all the different DAX functions, all the different scenarios where you can go and create the tables. These have been covered. Similarly, time intelligence, a lot, as you know, we know that there are certain patterns in time intelligence, so you can find a lot of videos here. So similarly, for the other modules as well, you can the whole course has been structured that way. And once you actually go and this is the last part, which is the deploy and maintain assets. So once you have actually covered everything and you come to this point, and you come here, and this is the last video, which is the final thoughts. Like, if you have come to this point, then here I actually tell that, okay, how you can actually set up the one-to-one session. So it doesn't matter if you already know about certain stuff, and you feel that you have been using Power BI for a very long time. You do not need to actually go and watch everything related to the videos. That's fine. That a lot of people can actually do that. That just come and just cover the certain gaps that they feel they have in their preparation, and just do a quick review kind of a stuff. So all of this content is like 30 hours of video content is there. So again, I would stress that the content has been developed keeping in mind that a lot of people, I'm assuming that they're coming from a very, very basic understanding, or from a very, very basic background. They have just used Power BI in a very limited role. So they would obviously like to have a lot of detail. So if you are experienced and you do not want to actually go into that kind of a detail because you already know about it, then obviously you can just go and skip that part. So this is how the module this module actually looks like. And then there is a Skype group, which is kind of a support group. If people want to actually ask questions, they can come on that Skype group. They can post the questions, and I try to answer those questions within a very short amount of time. Obviously, once I'm the night time here, then obviously it can take a lot of time. But during the day, that chat window is always open. So normally I'm very quick to respond to the chat queries as well. So that's all from my side.